There's a level of care put into this that is kind of shocking to me, honestly. This is unlike anything I've really seen before.
Yeah, it's a bit different from Bally's.
1/10,000th of an inch was too much to remove from the bushing, and now we need to start over. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another video here at Machinewise HQ. We have gone through the entire process of taking a single piece of metal and turning it into these beautiful parts that are ready to be assembled into a final product. We've done everything from machining them down, we've finished them up, and we've even added some beautiful color at anodization. But now it is finally time for that last step. We need to take this all the way and put these parts together into a fully assembled product that's ready to go to you at home. If you use our discount code machinewise.willhirsch.gay, please do that. For the assembly process, I have my good friend Garrett here, who's actually going to walk us through how all of this works. So hi, man, nice to see you.
Likewise.
Garrett, you've been with Machinewise for how long now?
A little over a year now.
Garrett is known to the balisong community. Those of you out there, Garrett is in RB. This guy has been making balisong stuff for a long time, very influential in the community, and knows his shit, especially when it comes to tuning and assembling stuff, I would say.
So I'm told.
We are going to be taking the stuff that William and I anodized.
Yep.
And putting that into a final product?
That's the plan.
How does that actually begin? Where does that stuff land?
So we are going to grab the blade, which is completely raw.
Okay.
So we're going to give it a serial number. We are going to take it to heat treat testing. Every single Sonora and Mojave that leaves our shop gets individually heat treat tested to make sure it meets our standards.
Okay.
So let's start there. The engraving of the blades for serial numbers and the blade steel is the very last step before it actually makes it to assembly.
And have you already tested this one for hardness?
This one has been tested already. So for Mojaves and Sonoras, our heat treat range is 62 plus or minus 1, so it'll be 61 to 63. Anything that doesn't fit inside that variation or tolerance range just gets rejected.
Wait, so you're scrapping parts if they're not within like one HRC level?
Generally, yes.
Of your chart?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very
That's
precise.
Really cool. I mean, I knew there was a lot of like stuff when it comes to, you know, the machining and how that needs to be precise or whatever, but I hadn't even thought about the idea that you need the HRC level to be exactly what you want.
So, I mean, everything that leaves the shop, we want it to be as good as it can be, and heat treat testing is a part of that.
That makes sense. Once we've gotten that tested, we take this blade, we pair it with some handles. What is the actual lasering process?
So, we have the program here. This controls the laser. It tells it everything, tells it what to do. So we throw this in the fixturing. The fixturing is 3D printed, which isn't the most rigid, but it gets us close enough. So I'm just gonna check that the engraving is roughly in the right placement.
Okay.
Make sure that the serial number on the computer matches with our last recorded one, and we're gonna run it. All right, so that is our blade engraved.
Wow. Okay, so you do the serial number on one side, is the logo on the other?
So the Sonora only gets this engraving. It's a very clean knife. The logo is actually on the handle.
Oh, right, the logo's literally milled into it.
It is. On the Mojave and the Sonoras, we just want to have the blades be the focus piece, not the engravings.
Right. I feel like a fish out of water here because with all of this like folder stuff, I'm just not used to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's very exciting though because it's also completely new. I mean, I'm excited to learn what we're actually gonna do when we assemble it because this is unlike anything I've really seen before.
Yeah, it's a bit different from Bally's, for sure.
So we lasered the blade, now we're lasering the card.
Correct. So the QC card is going to have a bunch of information on the knife. We're gonna mark it with the serial number, the hardness that we tested it at, and with all of the finishes and the blade steel.
And then that just goes in there with the parts?
Yep, so that goes in the bin.
And this now lives as basically all of the parts that will be this knife.
Correct.
All right.
Awesome. Let's do it.
And then we move on to assembly. Here we go. Okay, so this is the assembly station, or one of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing now?
So now, our first step is going to be polishing the detent ramp to get a smooth, very smooth detent.
So what's the detent ramp?
So the detent ramp is going to be this cone shape that's cut into the blade.
Okay, so that's the actual like part that the action of the button is going into.
Correct.
Gotcha, okay. So what is the point of polishing that?
So if we leave any of the machine marks or any abrasive marks, you can feel it in the action. So we want to minimize that as much as possible with polishing. And you can see it is a lot shinier than it was before.
Yeah, that is substantially shinier than it was.
So that'll do.
Okay.
After polish, we're gonna take it to the drill press and hone the bushing hole out to final size.
So the bushing holes aren't the final size off the machine?
No, we intentionally machine them a little bit small so we have full control over their final size.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess you guys really need this to be precise.
We try to make them as good as we can. So I'm gonna check. This is a 2507 gauge pin, just to get a rough idea on how large the hole is. That one doesn't quite fit. The final size that we're going to end up at is 0.251.
0.251. Oh, wow. Wow, this is quite the jig you have set up for this.
Just to keep the blade flat and something to grab onto so it doesn't catch it and start spinning. And this might be a few step process because it removes material very slowly.
Gotcha.
So now you can see that the 2507 pin fits. So our next step is making sure a 0.251 pin fits. And that is a pretty snug fit if you want to feel that.
Oh my God.
So that is that final size.
That's kind of crazy.
So after honing the bushing hole to final size, we're going to take an abrasive ball and remove the burr.
Okay, so the burr is just kind of left from making the hole the right size.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna measure the blade thickness. So it's coming in at 125.3. We aim for 125.0, so it's a little bit oversized, but well within workable range. So from there, we're gonna start with a bushing that is 1 thou thicker than the blade, so 126.3 is what we're aiming for.
Okay, so you have sort of a selection of different like sizes of bushing.
Correct. Yeah, we machine bushings in 1/10,000th increments, so we have a lot of initial choices to start from.
Gotcha. And then do you pick a bushing that has been machined, or do you lap a bushing to make it fit?
A bit of both. We try to get as close as we can with machining, but the tolerances required for a perfect bushing system on the Snore is so incredibly tight. More or less all of them will need a little bit of hand fitting.
Wow.
Nothing is a direct drop-in fit.
How tight is that tolerance?
For thickness, our tolerance is about, from the perfect size bushing, if you were to remove half of a 10,000th, it wouldn't work anymore.
Half of a 10,000?
Half of a 10,000th.
Oh my God.
Unfathomable.
Like that is literally nothing. That is
Yes.
crazy to me.
So I'm gonna check the diameter of this bushing, which is dead on 0.250. That's the diameter we're aiming for. Now we're gonna check the thickness, and bushings are never perfectly parallel. There's gonna be a little bit of variance in the diameter.
Slightly.
So what we're measuring is the thinnest point of the bushing. So this one is 0.1262. So we're at 9.5 tenths of a thousandth. After a bushing fitment, we're gonna throw everything together. So we're gonna start with a stop pin. I usually start with 181 because that's kind of the middle size, so we can go up or down from there if need be. We're gonna throw our button spring in the handle.
Okay.
We're gonna throw the button in on top of that and make sure that the button fits the hole properly. We're gonna sandwich the bushing that we just fit in between some washers. Push the button down because the button has to be in first. And then just kind of throw everything together. We're gonna roughly line everything up and then do the final alignment with a pivot needle.
Yep.
And we can do a function test here to make sure that everything works as intended.
Wow.
And this is completely dry, so like...
Yeah, there's no lube in there at all.
Yeah. So the lockup amount looks about right. So we're gonna throw the bolster and the pivot through. And again, just double checking, making sure that we have the correct amount of lockup. And we're just gonna throw in the pivot screw.
I feel like at some point this has to stop being magic for me, because I've seen a number of people assemble, like, at this point, balisongs and knives. But it always blows my mind the way y'all will have like a collection of parts and then in a few seconds you have a fully built knife.
I mean, after building 1,000 plus of them, you kind of get used to it.
I guess that makes sense.
So we're gonna take our pivot screw to final torque spec, which is 10 inch-pounds.
Oh, whoa. So that actually like lets you do it to a specific tightness.
Yeah, so we assemble all Sonores to 10 inch-pounds. Just gives us a good standard. So we're gonna feel for blade play. And there's a little bit much on this one. If you wanna hold the button and wobble the blade side to side, you can feel the movement that I'm feeling.
Oh, I do feel that, yeah.
So we can make it a little better than that, so we're gonna do it.
Okay, great.
So we're gonna pull it back apart.
For those of y'all at home, I do wanna say, something I've noticed like kind of during this is that people with folder knives have different expectations than bally people.
Correct.
In terms of like what is acceptable play-wise. This has, for me, as a bally person, almost nothing. But this is definitely unacceptable.
It can be made better.
Cool, let's do it. All right, so what are you doing to make it have less play now?
All right, so now we're going to reduce the thickness of the bushing. As I said earlier, not all bushings are perfectly symmetrical or parallel. So I'm going to find the thinnest part and lap it in a way that keeps it parallel. So just that little bit right there should be enough to reduce the felt play.
Okay, so literally just a couple seconds on this piece of sandpaper.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you can already see the thickest point of the bushing was brought from 1265 to 1264, so we removed about a 10,000th of an inch.
Oh my God.
Let's throw that back together and see where we're at.
1/10,000th of an inch. What kind of a difference is that going to make?
Enough.
Oh my God, this is crazy to me.
Same thing, we're just gonna check, make sure we have lockup and that everything functions as it should. throw in a pivot screw. And torque it to 10 inch-pounds again. And you see, blade now binds, so we remove too much.
My God.
Now we gotta start over.
1/1000th of an inch was too much to remove from the bushing.
1/10,000th.
Sorry, 1/10,000th of an inch was too much to remove from the bushing, and now we need to start over. How many bushings do you usually go through in this process sometimes?
Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get it on the first bushing. Other times it takes 5.
Oh my gosh.
Luck of the draw.
There's a level of care put into this that is kind of shocking to me, honestly.
It's hard to find elsewhere. So the bushing that we just sanded was 0.1262. So we're gonna look for a bushing that's a little bit thicker, around 0.12625. So half of a 10,000th thicker.
Oh my God. Half of a 10,000. You were literally, I love that specifically you told me, like, oh yeah, it'll be about half of a 10,000th of an inch. And now we are literally getting that exact example happening.
Yep. So here's our bushing at exactly 0.12625. So half of a 10,000th thicker than the one that didn't work.
Okay.
And let's see if this one works.
Oh my freaking God. Dude. And that's with no lube.
That's with no lube.
It has like the tiniest little hint of play. And then when you put the lube on it,
That takes up the little bit that you feel.
it just completely removes it and it becomes this insane thing. That is incredible.
Yeah. Now we're going to set the action of the knife now that our bushing is the proper thickness. There's a few things we're looking for. We're looking for a good detent strength that's not too light, not too heavy. And this one feels about good, but there's a bit more lockup than we're looking for. So we're going to increase our stop pin size just a little bit.
What is the lockup referring to exactly?
So the lockup refers to how far the button protrudes onto the mating lock face of the blade.
I see. So that means it's sticking out too much?
It's sticking out too much. So
Okay.
the lock is safe, but it introduces a level of button stick that we're not happy with. So we are going to measure the stop pin size, which is 0.181, and we're going to increase that. I'll go up about 2.5 thousandths and we'll see where that takes us.
Gosh, there is so many things in here that is like a few thousandths of an inch here, a few thousandths of an inch there. It is such a precise process to make this thing perform exactly to the level that you're expecting.
It is.
That's incredible. So basically, the size of this pin is just kind of moving the blade forward a little bit.
Exactly. So with the larger stop pin, it would push the blade more this way, which decreases the amount of lockup.
Awesome.
So with the new size stop pin, lockup is where we want it. Detent feels good. The little bit of button stick that you're feeling now is just from everything being completely dry. So we're gonna go ahead and oil it.
And what kind of oil are y'all using for this?
So we use a carbon honey oil, which is a graphene lubricant in the medium weight that he offers.
Nice.
And this one is actually custom scented for us to smell like orange cream.
Ooh, wait, can I smell that?
You can. It's addictive.
Oh my God, that's really good.
It is.
That's like, oh, it's got like a cereal sort of smell to it. That's really nice.
So with all of the mating surfaces oiled, we'll actuate the knife a few times, and wobble the blade a little bit back and forth to seep in the oil. And after a second, you can kind of feel the play reduce and reduce and reduce until it is gone entirely.
That is crazy. How often does the end user need to like oil their knife?
It depends on how much it's used. So it's not necessarily a time-based thing, but how frequently it's actuated. So if you're fidgeting your knife, definitely oil it more if you care about blade play. After about an hour and a half to 2 hours of constant fidgeting, you can start to feel a little bit of blade play again.
Okay, so you can just kind of do it based off of feel.
Yeah, you don't need to oil it crazy frequently, but if you're very particular about your knife having zero movement in any direction, oiling definitely helps with that.
Gotcha.
So now that the oil is broken in, you can feel that all of the play that you felt earlier is now gone.
There's nothing. There is nothing. Dude.
Yeah.
What has blown my mind about this thing every single time is the way that the blade just drops.
It wants to close.
It is effortless. This swing, I don't have a ton of experience with folders, but I have enough to know that I generally feel something when I'm doing that. There is some kind of textural experience of the bearings moving or whatever. This is nothing. It's like it's on glass.
Yeah, that's the difference with bushings and bearings. So bearings, you'll still get a very smooth action, but bushings are even better.
Wow.
They are a headache, I can't lie, but they feel excellent.
That is so cool. Okay, so at this point, what is your sort of QC process like to make sure that this is like good now?
So there's a few things we're gonna check for. So one, button stick, non-existent, so we're good there. We're gonna make sure that the blade freely swings on its own and there's no resistance.
In any orientation?
In any orientation.
Cool.
So we want it to be as smooth as possible. We're gonna make sure that the detent doesn't hitch. And this one, you can open it as slowly as you want and there's no friction whatsoever.
Gotcha.
And lastly, we're gonna check for blade centering. And this one looks pretty good to me, so I don't feel the need to adjust it. So from here, it's gonna get a clip and it's gonna go to sharpening.
Okay. So the clip is literally just screwed on at this point?
Yes, sir. So the clip screw, we are gonna torque a little bit more than the pivot screw.
Okay.
So that one I won't use a torque wrench for, but I will snug it up a little bit.
Gotcha.
And that is the final knife.
Wow. God, it's so pretty. And it feels so simple, and yet it feels so nice. This is nuts. Okay, so from here, we're gonna take this and sharpen it up.
Correct.
Got it. Before we actually go, do you mind if I ask also, I asked about the QC of this, but can I ask about the QC of the balisong side as well?
Absolutely. So for balisongs, you flip it. You want it to move. You want it to want to move. Bushings on balisongs, they don't need to be quite as perfect as on the Sonora. There's a little bit more wiggle room.
Right, people want it to swing and it's okay to have like the tiniest bit of play or
Correct.
whatever.
We are going to check our handle swing horizontally. I just drop the handle and I look for any amount of hard bind where the handle just comes to a complete stop under its own weight. So the smoother it is this way, the smoother it will be while flipping.
What is the reason for doing it sideways instead of vertically?
More or less any balisong that's even remotely decent will be able to pass this swing test,
Okay.
right? And most will not be able to pass this. So it's just a higher standard that we hold ourselves to.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because when you're flipping, like, I mean, like for the behind the eight ball, for instance, every single part of that is happening on this sideways plane.
No, definitely.
So I guess maybe it's even a little more of a real world example of how it's going to perform.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on from that, what do we do with this guy now that it needs an edge put on it?
So we're gonna bring this over to the sharpening room and give it an edge and go from there.
Alrighty, let's go to the sharpening room.
Let's.
I'm kind of stuck back here. Help. Oh no, we're good. Okay. I can escape behind the gaming chair.
And if you'll follow me into the finishing room, this is where we do all the sharpening.
Okay.
It's a very messy process, so we try to keep it contained to this room.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of the stuff in this room is a messy process.
Yeah. So, for sharpening the Sonora, we're gonna tape out the blade to make sure that we don't scratch it in fixturing.
Okay.
Gonna get this fixtured up on here.
Yeah, I guess that would be a really unfortunate thing to scratch it right now, huh?
Yeah, like right before it's done. Sharpening is a little bit of a messy process. I do need to wear a respirator for it, so can't do
yeah,
this
that
for
would be
you right
bad
now.
for audio. We could just have B-roll go over this and we can talk about it now. And Brandon, if you're okay with recording that in a minute. Great. So what is this actual process? What are we starting with?
So for the Sonora, since it has a little bit thicker of a tip due to the grind of the blade, we're gonna start at a very coarse 100 grit belt.
Right, it's like really thick up here at the tip. I mean, I was looking at that previously and it is almost as thick as the blade stock itself.
Nearly. Like I said, we're gonna start with a very coarse 100 grit belt just to knock off as much material as we can, because if we were to sharpen at our final grit, it would take days and I don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start at 100. We're gonna roughly grind in the tip and get it as centers as possible. After the 100 grit belt, we're gonna switch over to a 400 grit and reprofile the edge of the tip to remove the coarse grinding marks from the 100 grit belt. After 400, we are going to go over that again with 1000 grit.
Okay.
And after 1000 grit, it'll be quite shiny, and we're gonna bring that up to a near mirror finish with a 12 micron strapping compound.
Wow, okay, cool, very cool. So it's gonna have a nice mirror finish edge at what angle afterwards?
20 degrees.
20-degree angle. Is there a reason for the 20-degree angle?
Not inherently, it's very sharp.
Okay,
Which is
cool.
what we want.
Just very sharp.
Indeed.
Okay, I've been allowed back in since this was a hazmat zone, so this is finished now.
Correct.
Okay, I am excited to see this edge.
Shall we?
Yes, please. Ooh, oh my God, it is a mirror finish. You were not kidding about that. I can literally see my face in it. Oh my God, is it okay if I like hold it?
Yeah, absolutely. Just please be careful. That is
got
a
it.
razor.
What is the point of doing this after the assembly process? Like, why not sharpen this beforehand?
So like I just said, it's a razor. It is extremely sharp. We want to minimize handling of sharp objects as much as possible. Right. Working around knives all day, every day, it's a challenge, but we just want to be safe about it.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Now that I think about it, you guys are taking it apart and putting it back together and taking it apart. And so that would be a lot harder if it was razor sharp
Definitely.
the whole time.
It also just minimizes potential for error, like scratching or nicking the edge in assembly. Like if the edge hits a screw when I take it apart, I have to redo it. So
wow.
It's nice that it's the final step. So I don't have to worry about it getting messed up in the process.
Okay, so now that we have this wonderful razor sharp knife, where do we go from here?
Let's take it off the fixture.
Okay.
Clean off the edge a bit. I'll blow it out with compressed air to remove any sharpening dust that might be left over inside the channel of the handle. Cool. And we'll take it to QC.
All right, let's
to QC. So from here, we'll take our serial number and HRC testing that we did earlier, and we'll mark that down on the QC cards. This is serial 1116.
Okay.
And we tested it at 62 HRC. So now we'll fill out the rest of the QC cards. This is going to be a raw stonewash blade with diamond handles, with a raw tie bolster, a raw tie clip, and we have a aqua anno with purple distress. And with that filled out, we'll do the final QC of the knife. So we're going to check out the action for a few different things and also look for any cosmetic blends we might have missed prior. So first thing I'm going to check for is tip centering.
Okay.
And this one looks pretty perfect to me. So now just generally looking over the knife for anything out of the ordinary. So any scratches that might have happened from handling or any potential machining issues that we might have missed.
All right.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Next, we're going to check out the detent and just making sure that it's smooth, not too heavy, not too light. And this one feels exactly how I want it to feel. Button feels good as well. Now I'm just going to check the blade swing, make sure that that's solid. No felt blade play or lock rock. And just making sure that the clip is flush against the body. And everything checks out on this one.
All right, so what do we do when it checks out?
So I'm going to mark the card as complete, put my initials on it, give it a smiley face.
I like the smiley face. All right, now we take a picture.
Yep. So we'll just get that queued up and framed properly. And after that, we are good to package.
All right, let's go to packaging. Okay.
So the snore box is a hockey puck-like design.
I like it.
The lid unscrews, and we have TPU inserts.
So those are kind of like softer plastic?
Yeah, it's like a rubberized plastic almost. So we insert these into the box to keep the knife in place and to avoid scratching.
Got it.
Next, we're gonna put a coin in the box, which is the remnant of the bolster.
Right, I learned about this earlier. So they literally, that is the part that the bolster was made from.
Correct.
That's
so
cool.
this is the excess that we can't use.
So I love that you're able to like reuse it in that way.
Yeah, rather than throwing it away, we figure it's a short operation. It's cool to get something that you get to hang on to.
Cool.
So we're gonna put the QC card that we filled out at QC in the top of the lid,
Nice.
like that. We'll throw a T15 bit in the box.
Very nice.
A sample bottle of carbon honey.
Is that the scented one?
It is, that is the orange cream one.
Nice.
Business card with all of the information about the Sonora. A Machinewise sticker. Seal that up. Eventually. I'm just gonna throw a piece of tape on the box. This is for us to notate with the serial number, 1116.
Gotcha, because it would be kind of hard to keep track of that otherwise.
It's a lot easier to just not have to open the box after this step.
This guy now is pretty much ready for a customer.
Yep, that knife is ready to be dropped on our website.
I also really like the packaging you guys do for all this stuff. I mean, I don't know if we actually covered this exactly, but all of that is made literally right here. Basically all the time. They're like always printing stuff. So there's always some really cool stuff going on with the packaging. This is really cool. Thank you so much again for making this happen. I loved getting to learn about this process. And now let's go ahead and throw it to the rest of the team because we're finished here at Machinewise and it's time to say goodbye, unfortunately. So
sad to see you go.
I'm sad to go. And that's it for our visit here at Machinewise HQ. Thank you so much to Dalen and Martine. You guys have been awesome and allowing allowing us to have unfettered access to this entire incredible new facility. So seriously, thank you guys so much. This has been an amazing time.
Absolutely happy to have you guys.
Thank you. And of course, a huge thank you to the rest of the team here at Machinewise. Thank you so much to all of you for being awesome, for accepting us into your space and allowing us to annoy you while we ran around with our cameras. It has been a wonderful time seeing how you guys do all of this stuff and make the products that we love to flip. So a huge thank you to the team here at Machinewise. Every single one of these people is instrumental in the process of creating all of the products that we love. Machinewise at its core is a company that cares so much about both what it's creating and the people that are making the products, the people that are flipping the products. All of you put so much work into making these amazing things. And I am so happy I got to experience even a little bit of it. So thank all of you so much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
That's perfect. Wonderful.
All right.